Hey guys, welcome back to Marsha Speaks. This is Marsha, and I'm so proud of myself right now, y'all, because I made it through all 19 episodes. I reviewed every single one of them. Even when Charmed was trying my full existence and thought we were stupid, I still stuck it out. So I'm gonna pat myself in the back real quick. However, this is a review of Charmed, the finale, season 2, episode 19. Like we've been doing the last couple of episodes, I have been reviewing as I watched the episode. And I'm a little sad that the season has come to a close. I still think that COVID-19, I haven't gotten it confirmed because I didn't do research, but whatever. I still think COVID-19 is the reason why we are ending a little bit earlier than we expected, because I don't believe in any way that we were supposed to end in 19 episodes and not just make it one more to get to 20. But that's neither here nor there. And let's get into the episode, y'all. I'd like to know, okay, so we started off the episode with Maggie finding out that safe space is no longer safe and that they are upgrading the security system with magic detectors, because clearly, I won't call his name Jillian so badly. It's not Jordan, it's not Jillian. Whatever. The ex is looking for them since he knows they're witches. And from there, they hear things and they hear noises and they go up to Macy's room. And before they get in there, we see Macy and Harry getting at it. But for some reason, they didn't tell the girls yet that Macy and Harry are dating each other. So we're getting updates to episode 19 and we still not having basic form of communication. Really, y'all? 19 episodes and nothing changed? Like, this does not make any sense. Like, how did they not go tell them that, hey, we're like kind of seeing each other now? And they kind of already figured it out, because when Harry like orbed out, he left his shoes behind. And they noticed that the dishevelment of the bed. So it's easy to put two and two together to figure out, like, hey, there's either a guy here or that guy is Harry. Like, it's not that hard. And these are not children. We are all grown adults here. Like, why is it that we still have not been able to trust each other with each other's secrets? We should figure out by now. Nothing good will come between the charmed ones not knowing each other's secrets. His name is Julian. That's what the ex's name is. Just thought I should let y'all know I actually know what it is. Okay. So they finally come to their senses, right? And by this, I'm saying the stuff that I've been saying the last couple episodes. Y'all say I'm mean. And I'm too harsh. And that's okay. I will take that. Because this woman, they finally brought the elders in to be their secret weapon. And within like 5 minutes, she's already giving them information that A, they should have already known already, or B, they should have been having the access to this knowledge already. But I guess better late than never. That's the way charm ones work. Anywho, they have a 2-part plan. Part 1, get the skeleton key for the jar that the Darklighter is in, because they don't have the talisman. And part 2, get the jar from safe space, even though it is no longer safe. And the thing that the elder tells them is that you can get to headquarters by meeting a witch that went to Witness Protection solely, and have that person give you their marble, because every witch that went through the program has a marble as a failsafe. A lot of loopy loops, but it makes sense for now. And the way to get to it is through a Reddit, y'all. The power of the internet. But again, these are stuff they would have known already if they kept the elder since the beginning. But on the other side, Julian's talking to his aunt, and I guess Julian does know more than I wanted him to know, in that he knows that the aunt kept the Darklighter in a jar. He knows that the Darklighter was hunting the witches. He knows that the aunt was having the Darklighter take the magical creatures for medical miracles and stuff like that, or miracles in general. But he still doesn't believe that Macy is a threat. And I'm like, that's because you didn't realize that this woman tried your life and played with your emotions yet. But regardless, I like the fact that he still believes this. But they meet a glitch in the system when they're trying to find the headquarters, really, or the secretary. The roadblock being the magical setback, in that the wall that they're drilling through that brings us to headquarters keeps repairing itself, which I find is hilarious, which gives us a little bit more time to figure out how to get the Dark Lighter and like figure out a plan to combat Julian and his evil army. I find it, but the one thing I find interesting is that Julian was talking to his aunt, and they said that they need to get her. The natural assumption is that they mean Macy, but I think they mean somebody else. Who is this her that they need to get? And what can this her do for them? I'm assuming her is a witch. It might actually be Abigail and make this whole thing full circle. But cut to the charmed ones. They are trying to find the witch with the marble so they can get into the headquarters, and they meet at a club where all the ex-witches used to be. I'm assuming the room full of them are all ex-witches. It was a lot of people. But more important, Mel finds that the girl that she's been dating is Ruby is an ex-witch because she's actually there. And she asks her if she is a witch. Okay, so Harry is over here having a little moment at the site where he was created. Again, the background noise, I apologize, my family's here. Anywho, and then from there, we see Mel talking to her girlfriend, and finding out that, she was a witch, this and the third, moving forward. And long story short, Ruby gives Mel the black amber marble. So yeah, Mel's girlfriend gives them the black amber marble needed to get them back into headquarters, and they use it, and by they, Mel throws a marble, and Maggie and Macy make it through, but it kind of like stops with Mel. Mel's not able to get through to headquarters, and it's a little weird, but the most thing I find shocking is what took Mel and them so long to get to the portal? I don't understand why it took them that long to walk through. It's not that difficult. And then B, when they do walk through, Maggie and Macy aren't actually in headquarters. They're like in a limbo in between place. But while they're dealing with that, we find out more information about Julian and his motives and his flashback and his like purpose and drive. So they go back to the episodes before where they showed that Julian saw a white lighter save 2 witches, but that person didn't save his sister, nor did he save his family, which is sad. But I think that was a protocol. Like, you can't save people who are meant to die, who are destined to die. But anywho, and I think the aunt is such a manipulator. It's not even funny. Almost like way past what Macy does. But yeah, the aunt manipulates Julian without him even realizing it sometimes. And the way she does it in this episode is that he shows that his sister is awake, or at least alive, or whatever. Like, she has some type of brain function, and she says, don't forget, like, your mission, your motive for doing this. Julian, like, we are here for a purpose, and this is our purpose. And basically saying, like, yo, don't let this punani stop you from seeing the goal, man. Don't get punani swapped or whatever. Like, don't get blinded by the punani. And it's true, because the punani don't want you, so there's no reason to get blinded by it, because y'all not gonna be together. But yeah, she was doing this because Macy doesn't want to Julian doesn't want to exploit his relationship with Macy, and Macy wasn't gonna help you anyway, son. But even if she was, which she's not, you didn't know that, and I just find it so sweet that he didn't want to exploit that relationship when Macy was ready and willing to exploit that relationship for the real, hoo-ha she wanted. It's so, sometimes it's like, when the flaws in the Charmed one, it's like, bruh, it's so hard sometimes to root for y'all because of the decisions you guys make, and it's so disgusting sometimes. Like, to this day, the stuff that Macy, like the fact that Macy was willing to exploit Julian's feelings for her to get what she wanted still kind of makes me cringe. It's not cool. But yes, we found out that Julian, of course, is going to stick to the task because the stuff that they're doing is working. his sister is saved, and it brings back to the point that Julian and the aunts, they want to do this to bring forward science and save more humans' lives, and this, that, and the third. Again, it's kind of sad, but it's true. The charmed ones are dangerous in their own way. Bruh, they are stuck inside the marble, not even a limbo. They are in the marble. What kind of return to active duty is this? That you get stuck in the marble? What? Good thing all three of them didn't make it through. Okay. So we find out. Cut to Harry and the elder, and they find the skeleton. And while they're searching for it, we find out that Julian may be the second coming of the Conqueror, which was this human who wanted all. Well, I'm assuming it's a human. It could be another magical creature. Well, anywho, he was trying to gain all of the magical power for himself. And thus, the only person that stopped him was the original Charmed Ones. I high-key laughed at this part because from there she says that Julian, of course, is the second coming of this person, and our Charmed Ones are the only thing that's stopping, the last line of defense for the magical community. And I laughed so hard because I'm like, these Charmed Ones, this group of hot mess, this is the one that's like the last line of defense between y'all and destruction. Okay, I guess y'all can get destroyed then. That makes no sense. Say hello, say goodbye to the end of witch magical powers and magical community as we know it, because that's a hot mess. They don't have any real leadership, any real guidance, and you want them to be the last line of defense for y'all. Y'all are not gonna make it. I believe, of course, because of the TV show, they're gonna make it, but last second they'll make it with many consequences as a result. But like, I will put my bet on the Conqueror, but that's neither here nor there. From there we get to Julian and his aunt, like when they first found out that magic was real, which was when the aunt became the master of Jimmy. So it confirmed that we already knew that, you know, the aunt was Jimmy's master. And there was this random Asian dude that showed him the area, which is the cast that they were creating, the white lighters and dark lighters. And I don't think I've ever seen that Asian dude again. So I'm hoping that the aunt doesn't do what the aunt always does and kill people off. And then we cut back to the Charmed Ones were saying that I'd rather put my bet on the Conqueror, not following directions properly, because the elder said that I told you needed to bring the witch. You need to have the witch with the marble bring you to the headquarters, not take the marble from the witch and try to get to the headquarters. And this is why the other two sisters, Mel and Maggie, Macy and Maggie, are stuck in the marble, because I'm guessing the marble uses this as a security defense, if just in case the marble went to the wrong hands. So the owner of the marble has to take you through the portal, not you just use the marble yourself to go through the portal, which makes perfect sense. And she just jokes about how like these millennial witches these days don't listen. And then Mel, instead of taking accountability, said, "Oh, your directions weren't clear." And I had to think back on it. I'm like, no, her directions were clear. She literally said you need to get the marble. You need to have the owner of the marble take you through the portal. She literally said that. So no, her directions couldn't have been any clearer. You just weren't paying attention, which is nothing new. And they need to find a solution of how to get the sisters out, because there's no oxygen. At least there's not enough oxygen in the marble to sustain them forever. So at some point in time, the sisters are going to run out of air. Dang. Let's make the stakes any higher, shall we? Okay, so Mel gets Ruby to help her get her sisters out. They meet in the headquarters, and I'm happy that all this works out, but they have like more and more steps to go through. But meanwhile, Julian is able to see his sister, Rosemary, and they put a little bit of the black amber in Rosemary's mouth, and she's able to like open her eyes and like smile and kind of communicate with Julian. And I kind of think they got the prophecy a little bit wrong in that they're assuming that the Conqueror is Julian, but I think the Conqueror is her aunt. I'm sorry, is his aunt. She's more of a threat in my opinion, but it could be Julian too because he's the one with the vision, right? But I still think the Conqueror is the aunt, and they're using their low-key sexist predisposition and assuming that it's a guy instead of a girl. But anywho, from there, they of course in the marble before they're taken out, Macy and Maggie have a moment. The acting was a little not that great, but anywho, Macy's over here hyperventilating about how she's about to die and how like she doesn't have enough time with Harry. And I don't know, they didn't give us enough time with Harry and Macy together. And I get why she feels like, oh, she wasted all this time and she just wants them to have as much time as possible. But the running theme is that it's not a good idea for a White Lighter and a witch to be together, which is understandable because that is literally what happened with Piper and Rio before they got married and had all these children. But I feel like I kind of feel bad for Ruby because Ruby's getting sucked into this magical world that she happily gave up slowly but surely. And I'll be a little irritated if it was me, but she likes Mel, and so she's going to try to help. And of course, why wouldn't you help if you heard that someone is trapped and you are the only way to get them out? And they're from there to get the Dark Lighter out, they have to do this circle of entrapment, which apparently is extremely dangerous with like a whole bunch of consequences. And this is my prediction because I haven't seen the episode, like the last section of the season finale yet, and this is my prediction before it happens, right? They're gonna do the entrapment circle. It's not gonna go the way they planned it because clearly this is charmed. And right when they are finishing the entrapment circle, or that's when that's when Julian and them get into headquarters and mess everything up. And then, what do they do? And take the charmed ones hostage. That is my prediction. So, the warning that they've been giving to Harry about his feelings for Macy might be problematic has actually comes to head in this part of the episode. In the middle of the ritual, they tell Harry that he cannot leave this circle or else consequences may ensue. And the first sign of Macy being in trouble, Harry forgets and doesn't pay attention to his surroundings and automatically jumps to go save Macy, and thus chaos ensues. Harry's Jimmy is able to not be controlled since Harry's not in the circle anymore. He punches Harry and is trying to go to France or Providence in France. Why that specific location is beyond me. So they're able to contain Jimmy, no thanks to any of the charmed ones. It ends up being Ruby that saves everybody with her wind power spell. And of course, because Mel sees Ruby using her powers, or at least a spell, she thinks that Ruby is more inclined to become a witch again, which she is infatimably, I'm pretty sure that's not a word, is against. She does not want to be a witch. She doesn't want to be a part of your witch aspect of your life at all. And Mel says that, well, my witch aspect of my life is still me, so if you can't take, basically they're about to break up. In the next season, we're going to see Ruby and Mel not together, because if Ruby can't take her as a witch, then they can't be together. We'll decide. And then now we're at Harry and Macy, and they are talking, and Harry's telling Macy, like, yo, I failed y'all. I put you guys in danger, and it wasn't based off of instinct that I went to go and save you. It was based off of emotions. It was based off of love, and that becomes a problem. And his solution is to ask Maggie to take away his feelings. I'm assuming they really didn't go in depth, but looks like that's what he's asking her, to take away his feelings from Macy so that he can do his job correctly. And I'm like, so we're not going to talk about proper coping skills and the ability to be accountable for one's actions, which is going to ask for a stupid spell to take your emotions away. What are we, 5? But either way, anywho, so that is Harry and Maggie, no, Harry and Macy. They didn't really talk about Maggie or Jordan at all this episode. It was a little sad to see that he was in the season finale. And lastly, we have Julian and his aunt. They're talking, like, his aunt wants a confirmation that you will do, what are you willing to do to get your sister back? And Julian says that he's willing to get Macy at any cost in order to save his sister. Again, we're assuming, or they're having us assume that the conqueror, that the bad guy is going to be Julia, when in fact, I've always said it, it's actually the aunt. She sus, I don't trust her. Okay, so that was the end of the episode of the season finale, season 2 of Charmed. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little lackluster. I thought it would be a bigger bang for my buck. I thought it would be more emotions involved. Like, the stakes were kind of high, but it kind of felt like every episode kind of high. Not like this is the season finale kind of high. We did get a lot of questions answered though, and that was nice. However, I don't know. I feel like this wasn't, again, I still think it's COVID-19 that made us get to episode 19, not 20 or 20 something, to round out the season. I can't wait for season 3 though. I'm not gonna front. I can't wait to see how this culminates, how the Conqueror makes his moves now that we know more about the scientists in the mad scientist group. I can't wait to see more of Jordan and Abby and all of the other members of the gang, right? I don't know. Overall, season 2 wasn't that great. Season 2 could have been a little better. Like, the beginning of season 2 was so strong. Like, it could have gone so much better. It could have gone somewhere completely left. Like, there was so many, like, potential for season 2, right? And the way the road that they decided to take and where we are now at the end of season 2, again, I still feel like COVID-19 kind of cut it a little short. But what we have now, I don't think it was that good. Like, I still am going to watch Charm because it's so near and dear to my heart. But I think season 2 could have been a lot better. The high points of season 2 was the fact that we weren't relying so much on their powers in the beginning half of season 2, excuse me. Like, the Charmed ones had to actually learn more about like magical history and like gaining more knowledge of magic versus just relying so much on their powers. But it was just a little frustrating when they finally did get their powers back. They went automatically back to relying on their powers instead of like continuing to cultivate that knowledge. I think they made horrible strategic decisions and not using the elder to her fullest capacity. Abby was actually, they made her character go a different way than I expected. Like, I liked Abby by the end of the season, which is kind of why I feel a little sad that I didn't see her in the season finale. And same thing with Jordan. Jordan, I thought, was the guy on my nerves, and he actually ended up being one of the bright spots this season. Still a little irritated that the Charmed One's like Power 3 dynamic isn't as strong as it needs to be to meet these like big hitter opponents yet, and you really kind of wasted a whole season, and their relationships like isn't that strong in my opinion. They're still having the same communication issues. Their main bond is a little bit stronger, but I don't think this season was really about the sisterhood of the Charmed Ones, other than the shallow, superficial stuff. I think it was more about like learning, like kind of world building and learning a little bit more about what's going on in the real world. It was really nice learning the history of the White Lighters and Dark Lighters this season. I'm a little sad because I thought, if anybody knew, like way in the beginning, my prediction was that by the end of the season, Harry would have been reunited. Like, Harry and Jimmy would have somehow merged into one, and that didn't happen this season. Instead, we're still holding Jimmy captive, which is still a little heartbreaking. What else? I thought something would have happened with the magical herb owner, the Indian. I thought there'd be something that happened with her and Mel, and that didn't really pan out well. But it was still kind of nice to have her and Ruby be a couple for a little bit. It was really kind of nice to see the different views of what it means to be a witch, right? Like how like Ruby decided to give that title, like give that identity away, and for Mel, that's such a huge part of her identity. It was kind of cool to see the two different aspects, and to see Abigail in a different aspect as a witch as well, like not fully claiming that part of her. So just really interesting to see like three different views of a witch, right? That was kind of cool. They kind of made it more complex, more interesting in that sense. But I still think that this season could have been a little bit stronger. I feel like the writing could have been stronger. The acting a little bit could have been stronger. Overall, it was good, but there were certain episodes that was like cringy. I don't know. Maybe I'm putting too much on these girls. Comment below if you think I like put too much pressure on them. But I just think that this season, with the way they started, it could have been so strong, and that's not the route they went. But yeah. This is Marsha. I am Marsha. This is Marsha Speaks. And I will see you guys for season 3 of Charmed. I also do other reviews. I am reviewing Total Bellas, if anybody watches that. Comment below if there's any other TV shows you guys want me to pick up. A while back ago, I think Magic Me was the one that suggested it for Fort Salem. That show really creeps me out. I'm like in episode 5 or 6. I haven't reviewed any of them, but I might pick it up if you guys would really want to have me review it. But yes, comment down below if there's anything else you guys want me to discuss. It doesn't necessarily have to be episodes. We are all quarantined, so I am ready and willing to make content. And tell me, what are your overall thoughts of Charmed? Did you think it ended strong? Did you think... what predictions did you think were going to pan out that didn't necessarily go the way you thought it would? I'm really interested to see what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I love you guys. Can't wait to see you guys in the next episode or the next video.